Hey, Pila. I just wanted to go through the notes that I took and see if my understanding of what you would like to accomplish is the same as your understanding, at least in a very high level way. So, you are looking to launch a feeding families app. The mission of your program is feeding the high need families in your program's surface area with a focus on families with children in the local school system. Okay. In the local school system. The essential questions that you're trying to answer are how many pounds of food are going out? How many families are getting that food? How many children are in those families? How many of those children are in the school system? How many pounds of food are going to families with children in the school system? So the next thing is I like to think about what would an answer look like if we had it. So if everything goes correctly, you would be able to say at the end of this, Feeding Families is a food program that completed 5,245 food deliveries, totaling 6 tons of food in a program year. We delivered that food to 145 families. We are confident that 112 of those are unique families. The program provides nutrition to 306 children. 223 of those children are in the program area school system, so in the local school system that the program focuses on. During a program year, we supplied 4.2 tons of food to families with children in the school system. And so I just made up these numbers, but it's nice to know what a solution would look like if we had it, and therefore it will help uh, in just designing a system that will get us all of these numbers. So the next thing that I did was I took this potential solution or what a solution would look like, and I started breaking down what the numbers are. So D number of food deliveries, uh, and then U number of unique families, all of those. And that becomes the list of what is the essential data uh, and what is its collection and aggregation status. So, in order to give that report, I would need to know the tons of food to families with children in the school system, the number of families, the unique families, families with children in the school system. Uh, I guess that would be families of the families being served. The total self reported children, the total self reported adults. That'll give you an overall list of how many people are being served. Total children verified in the school system, and the number of deliveries of food. This one I marked as important because this is probably your best proxy for how much work we're doing. There is a there is work associated with every delivery of food, and it's oftentimes hard to think about what is a number that you can give that just shows how much hard work is going into the program. And I think that is the actual deliveries of food, whether or not that gets there by your food delivery program, whether or not that is picked up by a person dropping by the food bank, whether or not it's going home in backpacks. Like someone for each of those food deliveries, um, in that wide sense, someone has to do work to like collect that food, organize it, sort it, and make sure it gets to a family that needs it. So I think that's your best proxy for when people ask like what did you do during a specific period of time, to be able to say, this number of deliveries and each of those deliveries required work. So that's there. And I tend to think about data collection in two different things. There's the collection status and the aggregation status. So the collection status is whether or not it is, collected at all. Is the data collected somewhere, anywhere? And we're always like to move things to being like fully collected if possible. Sometimes it's not. Like a person just comes in, they need food. You're not going to like make them fill out a complete form. You're just going to get a box of food to them. That's probably going to be a partially collected thing. We're just trying to get the percentage of fully collected as high as possible. And the same with aggregation status. And that is how easy it is to manipulate the data for like reporting purposes. So sometimes data may be collected, but it's all collected on paper. And so if it's collected on paper, it's going to be hard to, have a computer run a report for you and tell you this many deliveries, like maybe having a time frame of saying how many deliveries occurred between the first of the month and now. You won't be able to get that if it's collected on paper. So I have a status here for collected but not formatted. Maybe it is even collected digitally, but the pieces of information might not be formatted in the correct way to answer some of the questions that you're trying to answer. And then the final status here is normalized, which means it is in the database in the appropriate format in order to answer the questions that you're looking. So this is my first kind of shot, my first sketch as to see whether or not I'm on the right track with something that would be helpful. So I put this in a video so that you have time to like review it, listen to it a couple of times, and then you can provide me with any feedback. Right? Thank you.